What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing today? I'm so excited to kick off this live stream. Captain Coffee is going to be joining here soon. But for now, you have to deal with me. So I'm going to turn the comments on. What's up, guys? Today, we're going to be talking everything you need to know about on market acquisitions, whether you're a real estate investor or you're a real estate wholesaler. Yeah, I see y'all in the chat. I'm going to teach you guys everything need to know about finding properties that are on market on MLS. Can you get good deals on MLS? Absolutely. Every single week, multiple times a week, my team is buying homes right and left on MLS, and we're getting deep discounts. I'm not even talking 10% discounts. We're able to negotiate 20%, 30%, and even 40% off of list price. Sometimes we're finding better deals on market than we are off market. And the specialist of on market himself is Ryan Romo. This man here, my partner and my handsome other half.
Less handsome.
I don't know about that, man.
The other
What's
the
up?
other handsome half is the Sir Chunkington.
Yo, Sir Chunky, what's up?
He's a
Love
little
this.
grumpy. I had to take a little pause before his afternoon walk, so he'll have to be patient.
Well, awesome. You got Nick. Nick is in this chat.
Poulos?
No, Sicilian.
No way. What's up, Nick?
Yeah, we got a lot of cool people here. So, Ryan, introduce yourself to the people of the channel.
Yeah, guys. My name is Ryan Romo. I've been in real estate for going on 8 years now. Started out in the commercial space. Worked for a commercial developer in Waco. Full exposure to anything and everything from tenant representation, selling shopping centers, land deals, big industrial. I did that for about 3.5 years. Was ready to move back to Dallas and get back to a bigger market after being in Waco 8 years, college, and then work. It was time to come back home and see if I had what it takes to make it here. Um, was interviewing with all the bigger commercial firms like JLL, CBRE, Cushman, and then of course COVID happens and nobody decided they wanted to hire anyone anymore. So I was kind of sitting there on my hands. My now partner and co-founder with RFP Homes, Nick Poulos, was one of the top performers at a bigger disposition shop at the time.
We lost him. It can. Oh,
Got
there,
back.
there you go. There you go. You're back. Kill it. Go back.
No, basically, I was sitting on my hands during COVID. Nick was making a really good living doing this thing called wholesaling and single family. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. He looks like he's doing well. So I dove right in and did that for about 3 years and decided I loved it and thought I could make a career out of this. Loved the single family space, and decided to go out on our own and try it for ourselves. That's more or less the quick backstory. But now, I think we've been doing RFP homes for what, 17 months now. And I think we're at 21 agents. I feel like we're constantly bringing in new talent. So it changes constantly. I should know that number. But yeah,
It
we have
changes
grown.
every day.
We've grown fairly fast, and I really consider us a top 1% disposition real estate company in the Metroplex, and I'm pretty proud of that. I think we built a pretty good team. Nowhere close to where we want to go, and the vision we sought when we started this thing, but it's a good first step, and excited to see where we go.
Love it, man. So you started in commercial, a little bit different than most, and then you stumbled across wholesaling. You met your co-founder Nick, our CEO of RFP Homes. We're six partners. Four of us are boots on the ground here in DFW, and then you got into wholesaling, and then you ended up starting this company. But you did wholesaling for 3 years before you started your own wholesaling company with Nick. And what type of wholesaling were you doing?
So, are you talking about my time before getting into wholesaling fully, or once I stepped in the New Western?
What once you stepped into New Western? So what were you doing at New Western?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone at that company steps in and they start at sales. So basically, building your buyers list, marketing properties, getting your properties, sending them the contracts, collecting earnest money, beating out your fellow other teammates on on the sales team and trying to win those properties. But more or less, I would say the first year you're really just trying to build your book of business. That's really all you can do because even though I had commercial real estate experience, it was completely so unique to anything I had ever done. It was a completely different ball game. So I basically started from scratch.
Gotcha. So you've never wholesaled on your own. You've always been with a bigger company. So a lot of these people here, they've never been with a company. So it's gonna be a little bit of a different outlook. I was wholesaling on my own before I, became a partner in a company. So
Right.
so we'll be able to give both sides of the story, which I absolutely love. And you started in sales, so disposition. So you weren't out, at least when you started finding the deals, you were out selling the deals. Now you do both, right?
That's correct. I mean, that's kind of the natural progression in doing this long enough. It makes more sense to start in sale work with buyers. Therefore, you become inherently a better acquisition agent because you know how to dissect a deal. I mean, you've been through the battles with your buyers. You walk the properties. You have a pretty good idea of what the rehab is going to be. You know the objections. You know the hurdles. You know what they're looking for. You essentially get thrown in the fire of learning how to become an investor 101. I've seen people try to start acquisitions off the bat, and I've maybe seen one person in the 7 years since I've been doing this or whatever have success. Everyone else
Wow.
who has maybe started acquisitions, they always wind up going to sales after a few months, and then finding success there, then going back. But I mean, the end goal should be to get to acquisitions as soon as possible. From there, I mean, it's pretty cool. I remember my first deal where I got an acquisition, a buy, and then I sold it to one of my end buyers, and that's where I was like, all right, I'm expert. There's always something to learn, but I felt like an expert. I felt like quote unquote a weapon, I like to say, in this arena. I was able to do it from A to Z, and there's no way I would have been able to do that with the hundreds of deals I got to do in disposition sales prior to starting my acquisition career. Which, I mean, honestly, I've only been doing acquisitions for maybe 14 months now. So I did something I learned off the bat when we started the company. So really self-taught. Nick really helping out with that, but I got my acquisition hat on pretty stable, or hat. I feel like I have a very solid understanding of both sides of the business. So
I love that.
very,
So everybody here, for the most part, whether you guys are most likely just regular wholesalers, maybe you guys are some creative investors, maybe we got some gators in this group, but most of you guys, just like me, started in acquisitions, like going out and doing that direct to seller or doing that direct to agent, which we're going to talk about today. I'm going to teach you guys, Ryan's going to teach you guys all the secrets to do direct to agent perfectly. But you guys are all starting acquisitions when everybody in our company, and what we've learned is that if you actually start in sales, if you start in dispositions, you become much better at acquisitions once you move there. So that's a big tip for you guys. If you guys are struggling in acquisitions, consider working for a company or finding a partner and doing sales. Because like Ryan is saying, if you know how to sell a property to an investor, after you sell one, two, or like Ryan, 100, 200 plus homes, you know exactly what to look for when you go and you start acquisitions. You'll literally know right off the bat if that's a good deal or a bad deal. So good.
to your point too, and I think it's really important. I see a lot of people, they find, education on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and that's the first step, right? I'm interested. They go out and they try to figure it on their own, and they really, you're in a big ocean and you're drowning. I really encourage people to find a really good leader. It doesn't matter the size of the team, just get on a team and have some support. You might not be making the best commissions right off the bat or whatever, but that initial experience and structure is invaluable. I mean, you need to be in the weeds of it with people that are doing this day to day and trying to go out and figure it out on your own. I've seen too many people just get out there and not, and then they think, okay, this isn't for me, and they wind up quitting. And obviously in life, like anything, I mean, the winners never quit. So I would say get on a team however you can, show your value, learn, and before you know it, you look back 4 years later, you're like, okay, I got this. And if you want to go out on your own, you kind of get those licks and you're ready to rock and roll.
Guys, I think anybody can be a successful wholesaler, but the reason why most people fail is because they're trying to do it on their own. When I started, I was doing it on my own. I was absolutely failing until I started to literally build my own community, and that's what we have here, right? We have a community. So either join a team, join a company or just join a community. You don't even need to pay for those communities. You can just join a free one like ours. But you need people. This is not a business you can do alone. I don't think I've, like you said, I don't think I've seen anyone succeed doing wholesaling alone. I think it's impossible, honestly. You can't scale.
I think once you, like I said, I mean, you can eat once you learn the everything A to Z, like I mentioned, both sides of the business, then that's where you can go off and figure it out. But you're not going to get those skill sets unless you get hundreds of deals under your belt. That's the reality of it.
Ryan, we got some questions in the chat already, and then we're going to get into on market because that's really where I want to focus because that's honestly the easiest layups for all of you in this chat. You guys can go and get a deal today. I got like dozens of deals sent to me already today. Most of them are on market. I bet you, Ryan, how many deals did you comp today, Ryan, already?
And today was a whirlwind. One showing. We have 4 new guys that just started on the sales side of things, and big majority, besides obviously growing the business, working on the business, has been acquisitions. But we're pretty acquisitions heavy right now, so we have a ton of deals on the board, and we're trying to like really show our sales team how to do it. So leading like Achilles, right? Learning the charts, been sitting in the pits and just banging out calls, putting back on my sales hat and trying to show them how it's done. It's been actually fun. I've a little deja vu, if you will. But basically, I mean, I probably hit 50 calls before I went out and hit the showing. So voice is probably kind of out right now, if you can tell. So I apologize for that.
It's all good. I want to get into your KPIs in a little bit, like what KPIs people should meet in order to be successful wholesalers. But we got some questions to answer. So the first one was from Gary. He asked, any tricks to get good leads? That's either on market, off market, just any tricks you got, Ryan, off the top of your head.
Well, obviously there's paid leads, anything from SEO, Google, Facebook, pay per lead. There's pay per lead models now, people that sell leads. That's obviously one arena. What we focus on is more partner acquisition. So we offer on the MLS. We connect with agents who bring us pocket listings, quote unquote pocket listings, before they hit the MLS. So technically off market. We also work with a lot of smaller wholesalers who are doing those paid direct to seller marketing leads. So a lot of it is self-generated. I mean, the best way is just to hit the phones and build up your book, and then your leads will start to trickle in as you become the guy that, is experienced in this arena. There's really no else way to do it. You create your own, you create your own luck, you create your own leads. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Guys, I mean, I can just say personally, and I know Ryan can too, like 3 months ago, I didn't have that many leads coming in. Now that I've built this community, and all your guys' strategies are going to be different. My book of business is you guys. It's my community. But for you guys, it may be realtors, or it may be, your PPC, your PPL you're running, whatever strategy you're using, your VAs. But it takes time to build that book of business. But once you get that machine going, the leads just start just flowing in. So just don't give up and just allow time. You need time in this business to compound. We got another question here, Ryan. This is a long one, but what negotiation strategies have you found the most effective with sellers? Sellers or realtors, probably. Follow-up questions as well. How do you handle objections or resistance from sellers during the negotiation process? That's an awesome question, Isaac.
That is a great question. Anything specifically in regards to objections and resistance? I mean, more or less, I'm just calling and asking are you looking to sell? What do you, very, very digging in. Why are you selling? Once they get in the price, I just give my analysis of the property. And then from there, if they're ready to sell it by number that I need it at, that's great. If not, I put them on my follow-up cadence and touch them hopefully 6 to 10 times. That's typically when I'm offering on the MLS, talking to agents. It's literally 10 plus touch points of me following up or tracking that property, knowing that it's under contract with someone else. But hey, there's an option. Hey, Mrs. Agent, when does that option end, if you don't mind me telling? Okay, great. 4 days. I put it on my calendar. 5 p.m. comes up that day. I call them back. They're like, oh, this Ryan Romo's on it. He actually followed up. Maybe it's still not the number. They go under contract with someone else. I ask the same question. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if you have a gut feeling. No, I don't, Ryan. Okay, well, I call back again. And then after enough times, I'm the only one that's following up and communicating with the agent and showing tons of interest. And by that point, they're like, let me give you a shot. And those have been some of my best deals the past 3 months. I've had 3 really solid MLS deals, big fees from hey Kylie, from that process. And really, it's really nothing sexy or special. It's just a lot of offers and a lot of follow up. It's really that simple. I can't express that
I
enough.
love that you said 10 touches. Guys, Ryan, he's a professional wholesaler. He's following up on average 10 times with realtors and sellers. How many times are you guys following up? I mean, most likely, I don't want to, talk shit about you guys. You guys are probably not at the point to being as good as Ryan yet. You will soon. I promise you, you will soon. But he's following up 10 times. So you guys need to at least follow up 10 times on average to close deals. If you're a superstar, the best salesperson in the world, maybe you can get to 5. But guys, following up is everything. Ask yourself and truly think about it for a second. How many times on average are you following up? If it's not 10, it's probably not enough. And that's probably one reason why you're not getting, the deals you want. You see, Lewis here, he says he's following up on average 20. Well, Lewis, you're going to get some deals. I promise you, you're going to get some deals. Following up is everything. And like Ryan's saying, it sets an expectation with the realtors. And the beauty is that once you do one deal with a realtor, they're going to be your favorite client, and they're going to send you all the deals going forward. So you work your butt off to earn that client, to earn that customer, and then they're yours for many, many months to come.
And then you just do that. You do that 100 to 200 more times, then you have your own little marketplace going. And then it gets really fun, and it just feels like I'm direct. There's days where, like today was a perfect example. I can't remember a gap where my phone wasn't either me calling someone or someone calling me. Hence the voice pretty much gone. Your voice is not gone by the end of the day. You're not doing this job correctly, or any sales job correctly in that matter. I keep. I know we wanted to talk about KPIs, but I keep a little pitch. I played baseball in college, so I keep a little pitch counter on my desk. I bought a bunch for the office as well, as like a reminder. Hey, you better be hitting your calls, and I make it a little game because let's be real. Not every day you're feeling it. It's not always fun to hit the phones, but make a little game out of it. Set personal records. Look at the Pac-Man behind you. Seriously, gamify it. Build up you're the avatar. Build up that avatar. Get those KPIs in, and the results will follow.
Love it. Isaac, to follow up on your question, you're saying what negotiation strategy you find the most effective with sellers? How do you handle objections? What does Pace Morby say? Find the bunnies. At the end of the day, all of these sellers who are going to be selling to us, wholesale deals or great investment deals, they're selling to us at a discount because they are desperate, because they have something that we can give them that the market can't give them. Whether that's, speed, whether that's cash right now, whatever that is. And it can be anything, guys. So there was 2 properties that I worked on today for my personal portfolio. And both of them had really specific things that I figured out about the seller, which may allow me to get the deal and not anybody else and not the market. I found the bunnies, and I'm really, really, really focusing on those things. So what am I doing? I'll give you the first rundown on the first deal real fast. So the first one, seller finance deal. The guy wants, full price seller finance, and he wants $100,000 down for seller finance, but I'm trying to get it at 0% interest. Long story short is, instead of just being like, oh, you need $100,000 down, I don't know if I'm that interested. I was like, why do you need that much money, and why do you need it now? He said, I need $100,000. I don't want to sell this property, but I need $100,000 so that I can go buy another property. I have a great deal lined up, but I can't sell this property on market because I just signed a year lease with my tenants. So I screwed myself. I can be his solution. Now because I know that, I can try to leverage and get 0% interest on the other side. Another deal I'm looking at, a sub 2 deal. The reason why I'm able to get this property potentially sub 2 and not, the property's probably worth $350. I'm gonna try to buy it at $275,000 to $300,000 and get $50,000 in equity spread. The reason I can do it is because the seller needs to lease back the property for 12 months. It's a very similar situation. If he goes and sells it on market, no one's gonna lease it back to him for 12 months. That's his bunny. So I'm really focusing on that. So in both of those deals, in both of those situations, I said, yes, I can meet you on $100,000 and I can give it to you in the next 2 weeks. And the other person, I'm like, Sell me your house and I'm going to rent it back to you for 12 months. So long story short, guys, figure out their motivation and then deliver on that motivation and then pull where you can. That's how you get these deals done. Okay, we got some more questions, and then guys, we're in 10 minutes we're gonna jump into on-market strategies, how Ryan gets hundreds of deals from wholesalers, his KPIs, how he's running, a company right now with 20 plus employees and having to deal with annoying me every single day. But we got a question. So Olivia just said, does the 14-day close include weekends? Ryan, what's a special trick you use?
I talk it through the agent, but I tend to put my option days in business days, meaning Monday through Friday. Like for example, I actually did have to just cancel a triplex deal in Fort Worth, and I contracted it on, I believe, last Wednesday. No, the first day of options started Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I had it in special revisions. I had 5 days. So technically my lease or my option period ends today at 5. So they did not include the weekends. But if you didn't have that, then yes, your option days do include weekends.
Guys, put the
Good question.
language. Yeah, put the language in special provisions that option days are to only reflect business days. So that gives you guys a huge leverage as wholesalers or investors. So Kylie was wondering, guys, these are all great questions. Kylie was wondering, I think I understood your question correctly, Kylie. Yeah, if you want to know more about your option period, when it runs up and everything, just go talk to Title and Escrow. Like Title is there to help you with everything you need.
Well, I think
And
she meant if she's calling, like cold calling agents, talking about the deal, and because a lot of times you call these agents and I just went under contract. Yeah, yes, Kylie, they won't give you the price it went under, so they get offended when you ask. Sometimes I do try just because I'm curious, or what it's about to sell for if it passes option, because I like knowing what's going on in the market. But yes, by all means, definitely ask them when does this buyer's option end. That's a very good, and that's literally, you want to talk about a secret weapon. That's one thing I started implementing into every follow up question, like my last question, and I would get that on my follow up cadence, and that's really is what set me apart. So definitely ask them when that option's up, so you can make a note and follow back up, and check if it's going to fall out, and then you're right there to catch the bag.
okay, so you're talking about properties that have like a pending option contract on them.
I think that's what Kylie was asking.
Yeah,
In
awesome.
in terms of negotiating, at the end of the day, you're the one offering. It's the five main terms. You're looking at price, option period, earnest money, option money, and close date. So that's really, I think, what most agents, that's what they're going right to those five terms and looking at. So, again, you're asking the right questions and figuring out what the situation is and figuring out what's important to them. Maybe they don't want to give you a long option because, I don't really know. So you really have to, every little situation is different, and you need to go with the terms you think is going to put you in the best position to get your offer picked.
All
So
right.
if you follow me there.
You're teeing it off, Ryan. We already started talking about on market. Let's take it. Let's get it going. I mean, you have not done it. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of like off market direct to seller deals. All your off market deals mostly come from wholesalers. When you're going out and doing acquisitions, you're just getting them from realtors. So are you getting good deals on MLS?
Realtors and wholesalers, yes. But yes, I have been getting good deals on the MLS for sure. Anything specific you want to know? I'm trying to think of
Well, I
a.
mean, investors say you can't get good deals on MLS because everyone sees them, right? But you said you're getting good deals on MLS. How's it possible? I thought you couldn't. I thought it was impossible to get good deals on MLS.
Well, those are the most motivated people out there, right? I mean, those are sellers that have signed listing agreements with their realtors and they have put them on the open market. So they're very susceptible to getting their property sold. And I think we hit an interesting time in the market where, obviously at post COVID, there was just this massive bull run. Lots of dumb money flooded the market. Mom and pops, people want to be Chip and Joanne Gaines, bidding 40, 50K over properties. It was madness. It was an absolute bubble. And once the party was over and values hit their peak, obviously the market cooled off and there was a lot of people that couldn't sell their properties, and I think pain is setting in overall with market conditions. Obviously, interest rates have a huge factor on that, on affordability. Those people that locked in those 3% dumb rates, 2 to 3%, just stupid free money, they're not going to move. Why would you move? So I think that those are different, metrics or things that have caused this cool down. And those people that came in to try to be Chip and Joe in games, they got hit pretty bad, and they're still licking their wounds. So that money's off. So you just have tried and true experienced investors who have been doing this good times and bad times, and they're conservative with their numbers right now. So good deals will sell. We're still doing good volume. I wish, obviously we can always do better, but that's just, you got to buy them correctly right now because people are cautious. They're they're conservative. We're at the time. It's going to be a bull run again. So I don't know what the next 6 months looks like, but as long as you buy correctly, there's going to be a buyer out there for you. And that said, with the sellers, I mean, these sellers, if whatever their situation is, they have to sell. So those are where the good deals are from pure motivation. They got to sell. You give them a number, you're quick, whatever the situation is. And, you work that through with them and hopefully you get awesome deals. That's how you make money.
I like that your take on it is not that, oh, everyone's seen these deals, it must not be a good deal. Your take is, dude, these sellers are so motivated. They're so motivated that they literally went out, hired a realtor, had pictures taken of their home, and then went through the process to list it on MLS and are allowing strangers to walk through their property every single day so that they can sell. They're super motivated. I like your look on things. And, here, Olivia asked a question going along with everyone seeing the properties. If a property has been on the market for, say, 200-ish days, is that a red flag, Ryan, that it hasn't sold? Like, where are you getting most of your deals? 30 days on market, 100 days on market? What do you think?
That's a really good question. I'd say 90s, if they're really serious about selling, 90 is a panic point. 200 definitely could be a red flag. That could just be a crazy person that is just putting it out there. Their friend's a realtor, and it's been on there. I can hear it in those realtors' voices, like, "Please, no lowball offers. I can't go any lower than this." And then I dig in, and it's just that's an unrealistic seller. So if that's a red flag, maybe that's one. On the flip side, if it's a flips property, someone that came in and did really shoddy work, that's been sitting around, maybe they're upside down. The offers aren't even near what their payoff is, and they're not willing. And it's so crazy to me that people don't cut their losses in this game. I cut my losses all the time. It's just part of it. You're going to take L's, but that could be another situation where, they're just praying that someone gets even in the ballpark to make their initial investment back, red flag, I don't know. It definitely tells a story. It's an interesting stat, but I mean, that's something to call on and find out. You never know until you call the agent. So pick up the phone. That's going to be my theme today. Pick up the phone.
Okay, so when it comes to on-market deals, on average, are you negotiating, or are you just finding a deal and it's like, oh, that's a good deal, I'll buy that list price? What's your average strategy when it comes to looking at a deal, and how much are you negotiating down?
Oh, at the end of the day, I mean, I look at the numbers, the ARV at a certain percentage based on the pocket. We know our pockets in DFW pretty well, and we know what's moving and trading. So whatever that certain percentage is, minus what based on my experience, what the rehab is, I get to that number. So it's not like I'm just, it's 100K, so I'm going to offer 80. Like I'm actually quick comping, which you've seen me speed comp max. I've got 3 screens. I've got the Netris up, then I've got the tax rules up. I have our CRM up, and then down below in my main computer, I actually have another Tetris on another browser, so it doesn't kill the other browser, because Netris is really weird. It knows if you're on multiple tabs. So I use one on Safari, one on Google, so it doesn't know that I'm using it at the same time. And then I'm comping real quick there. If that makes sense. I wish I could show it. Maybe I come back one day and I kind of show what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm just pulling up the address, comping real quick, and getting an offer out. Really, that's simple.
And I think it's so important to know your market, because, guys, like, I know DFW pretty well. It takes me like 10 minutes to comp a property well. But I mean, when you really know a market like Ryan, and you've done hundreds of deals, Ryan, when you just see a deal in Dallas or Fort Worth, I mean, you probably already have a gut instinct, but how quickly can you get like a pretty accurate number on a deal?
I mean, honestly, I've kind of gotten again, it's pretty cool to evaluate how far I've come as a real estate professional and just knowing the market, this market in particular. But yes, I mean, I get hundreds of deals sent. I'm on everyone's list. I see what's going on. It's obviously important if you want to be a full scale real estate investor. But I can look at a deal pretty quickly and within 2 seconds, and I'm like, okay, that's worth it. That's worth looking into more. And then you look at the picture and I'm like, okay, this is priced correctly. And then I'll power comp it real quick. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's try to get this. So to answer your question pretty quick.
But if I sent you a property in New Jersey or Montana, like, would you be able to know within 2 seconds if it was a good deal?
Absolutely not. In fact, I wouldn't buy there. I mean, I've seen a lot of groups go out and they do paid marketings and stuff and they expand and they're masters in their market and then they go out and they fall on their face. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to learn them. That's what any real, not just for what we do. I mean, look at multifamily developers, look at REITs. I mean, you have to do your due diligence. You have to know what's going on or you're going to be held holding the bag. You're going to buy bad deals. I mean, there's no two butts if or ands around that. Yeah, you absolutely learn the market.
Learn your market, guys. I've been investing in the same city for 8 years now, and people are sending me deals literally just outside of like my little city, and I don't even know what they're worth. And I've lived in this area. It's just like you only just get really good at one zip code or one major city, and just focus there, and make sure you're focusing where you have a good partner, whether that's your acquisitions partner or your dispo partner. Don't try doing wholesaling alone. Focus in one city with one really good partner, and then focus on one main strategy, whether that's cash or creative. I think cash wholesaling makes more money, and then go and invest creatively. But guys, the whole point of what I'm saying is focus down so that then you can be like Ryan and look at hundreds of deals a day and not 2 deals a day or 5 deals a day or 10 deals a day. Ryan, so someone's asking, what CRM are you using?
So at first we used Podio, and we quickly realized the kind of company that we were growing into was not going to be able to handle all our needs. What the wholesaling we do buy and holds, we do flips. With that comes other arms within other arms, property management, construction, everything. So we quickly realized that Salesforce was the best route for us. So we found a great dev team actually through, it sounds like Nick's in this chat. I did a lot of due diligence on this and I made lots of calls. Also, if there's ever something you have a question on, just call people that are in your space that are just a few steps ahead of you. Pick up the phone and call them and ask them for their, advice. Like, what would you use? You'd be amazed how easy it is to find answers to your questions if you just pick up the phone and call and show interest. People like helping people out that are motivated and show interest. So, yes, we're using Salesforce right now, and it's just fully customizable. It's awesome. It's enterprise, and we spent a little extra money than we thought. Most people, I would recommend for most people to start with Excel, and then to where you get Excel or Google Sheets or whatever, and save money until you break it until you have no other option. We kind of went the other route. We spin it. We built this Ferrari engine without a driver at that point, but now it's getting its use. So it was definitely worth the investment. But most people when they first start out aren't going to be able to. I wouldn't advise spending that much money on a CRM, but we were pretty confident in where we were taking this thing, so we went ahead and did it.
Yeah, guys, when I started, I did wholesaling for a year on just Google Sheets. So if you don't think you can make money just using Google Sheets, you're wrong. Google Sheets is a great CRM. Then tried Podio for a while before I joined here, and we've been using Salesforce. So Podio is a good place to start. I mean, there's a ton of CRMs. Go High Level's been getting a lot of good credit. So just go check them out. Go speak to people in your space. But you can, if you're just 1-2 people, you can rock Google Sheets, Excel until you want to get yourself a CRM.
Can this present? Should I show like the drive I use that helps you
Yeah,
track?
sure. I can share the screen. I'll answer some questions while I set you up sharing the screen. So can you click present here on the bottom, Ryan? Does that work?
Yes.
All right. Guys, it's our first time presenting screens with StreamYard, so bear with
I've
us.
never done this.
Isaac says he uses a Streak, so you can check that out. Um,
So yeah, I mean, look, like we were saying, we use Salesforce, but
here, let me add that to.
I like color coding and font tracking and following my things. I also like, scalping the agent's email address, and then I get them on a monthly cadence because obviously, if I'm offering on it, it was probably a distressed property. So at the end of every month, or once every 2 weeks, blast, hey guys, reminder, I'm still looking for investment properties. Send it over. So I usually get a deal or two from doing that every month.
Wow.
And to your point, Max, yes, it does. You don't need to spend $50,000 on a CRM. Just track your people as simple as name, firm, email address, phone number, notes, and then every time you contact them or recontact them. So as simple as that.
Love it. Guys, I mean, Ryan's done hundreds of deals. He's been wholesaling for years, and you saw him. He's no different than you. He's just using Google Sheets and color coding. It's just putting in the work. It's just putting in the work. And Olivia asked, what is the best way to know your market? What do you look for? Olivia, I wish I could give you a better insight. Maybe Ryan does, but it's just getting your reps in. It's just every single day. It's just opening up Zillow, opening up all the deals that are sent to you, and just doing it. And you're just gonna know. You're gonna build a gut instinct, and you're gonna be able to follow your gut instinct and just walk by a property and say that's worth 520, and everyone's like, how did you know? I just know. I've been doing this market for so long. What do you think, Ryan?
You don't have to become licensed to start wholesaling, but I look at it as instant credibility. You took the time to pay the course, to do the test, to pass the test, and become official. From there, you get access to the MLS. There's no better data for single family homes than the MLS. So that would be my first step. And if this really is going to be a career path for you, get licensed, get access to the MLS, start comping, look in there. Papelio, I don't know all the big systems that they use. They're just not as updated. There are some comps there, but yeah, get licensed, dig in there, dig in your actual local MLS and start that way. The other big piece of advice I would do is go onto Investor Lift, go on, I'm blanking on the other good wholesaler websites that people post their deals, but I would go on to Investor Lift, and then I would connect with all the wholesalers, and I would get on their list. From there, you're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of deals that cross your desk every day. And after about a month of seeing that, those like what are deals coming out at, you'll get a pretty good idea of where property should be, loosely based in those areas. It's as simple as that. I mean, really. And then obviously doing deals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the best way to learn is like Ryan said, just do a deal, right? Get a property under contract and then fail, and you're like, oh, I should have got it cheaper. And then after you do 2, 3, 4, 5 deals, then you know exactly where you got to be. Okay, yeah, people are loving this, Ryan. So, one thing I really want to cover, Ryan, is your KPIs. Like when you were doing sales, when you were just doing acquisitions. Now you're running a big company, right? You're a partner at a big company. You got 20 something employees. You're not doing your typical KPIs because you got, partner stuff you got to do. But what kind of KPIs do you think everybody here should be hitting? What do you think to become a successful wholesaler?
Are we talking on the acquisition side or disposition side? Because I can get both.
Let's do both. That's such a great question.
Let's start with disposition. So at our company, we do have multiple sales agents. So obviously not everyone, there's going to be some overlap. So the way we, track or, give way to who gets that X investor, is through a simple investor acknowledgement agreement or a disclosure or, the right to market to them. So first person to get a signed DocuSign, just a simple 8 bullet point sheet, saying, hey, we can do your own due diligence. We're not your agent. Don't, we may or may not have title or whatever, they're very basic. It's a marketing agreement more or less, but once they get signed, we consider that a qualification or a disclosure. From there, if you should do bare minimum 30 new disclosures, and you're not going to disclose every person that comes across your that you talk to, right? So that might take 100 calls to get those 30 disclosures. which that's more or less. So I would say 100 plus calls leads to about 25 to 30 disclosures. Those, if you do that long enough, over a 6 month period, and you're getting about 30 disclosures, I would shoot for 90. If you're doing 90, there's no doubt you're going to get sales. But aim for 30 disclosures month over month. You do that over 6 month period, you will build up your buyers list and you will get sales. You can't fail. I mean, really. I did a month where I had 92 disclosures, and again, that's not 92 phone calls. That was probably well over 1,000, right? And that's me qualifying them. You should know within the first 3 to 4 minutes if this person is a qualified buyer or not. And there's maybe next class I go into like, what are those questions to get real quick, if into, is this person a qualified investor or not? But I got 92 or 93 disclosure, 93, 1 month. The following month I had 8 sales. So the proof's in the pudding. Success leaves clues. If you can get 90, you're a workhorse, but you can't fail. So I would shoot for 90, a bare minimum of 30.
Ryan, so just to clarify there, guys, so this is for selling wholesale deals, and it's when you partner with someone who's bringing you deals. So you're partnering with someone on acquisitions, or if you're trying to do the whole shebang and you're just literally trying to get deals and sell them too. Ryan's saying, not just like talking to 90 investors, but getting actual disclosures. Ryan, why is it important to actually verify if someone's an actual investor? Are they going to daisy chain? What's daisy chaining? Like, why are you disclosing all of this?
Well, yeah, I mean, you see people like you want to find quote unquote end buyers, like people that are actually flipping and buying and holding the property. They are actually the ones with the money closing on deals. And I think their wholesaling has a bad rap because people aren't doing it the right way. People aren't transparent. So I've seen a lot of first time wholesalers come in here and they're trying to connect with who they think's a buyer, and they just waste so much time. And they think, okay, I got a whale, and then they wind up trying to sell to them, and they're just doing the work around them, and then it's just a waste of time. So you as wholesaler trying to connect to real buyers, it's pretty easy to dive in and figure out based on questioning, like just the simple, like, hey, are you closing with cash or hard money? Are you looking to assign these properties, or are you closing themselves? Like, tell me about the last deal you did. Was it a flip? Was it a rental? How many properties do you own in your portfolio? How much cash do you have set aside right now to invest in your next deal? And then you'll know. I mean, you get real good at this, and you can sniff it out in a second. So and again, you're only as valuable as how much time you have in the day. So you have to be efficient with your time. So I mean, like I said, within 2 to 4 minutes max, you should know if this is a legit end buyer or not, just by your you got 5 to 10 go-tos, and qualify or disqualify them.
Guys,
really
the point of this talk was supposed to be acquisitions, but Ryan's dropping gems on sales, and I love this. No, I love this. So people are asking, what is a disclosure in this context? They don't even know this world, because this world is not taught on Facebook. It's not taught on YouTube. It's not taught by all the gurus, right? You don't see it. Ryan, Josh earlier said, Brian, what is your experienced advice on building a solid buyer list? Guys, you don't want to just post your deals on Facebook so that everybody can just start daisy chaining them, and your buyers turn out to be other wholesalers who are trying to resell and resell and resell your deal. You're going to lose credibility in the industry, you're going to lose time, and you're going to lose money. You want to build a buyer's list. And how do you build a buyer's list? By actually getting on the phone. Don't text these people. Get on the freaking phone and vet these buyers. Ask those questions that's Ryan saying. Get your disclosures. When Ryan's saying get your disclosures, it's vetting the buyers, and it's saying, tell me about the last deal. If they go, they're a wholesaler, right? Are you closing with cash? Do you do creative? Get a specific buy box, build your buyers list, and then once you get those deals, you can easily move them. Or you can use like a dispo shop like us. But that's when it comes to sales, guys. It's getting your calls in. So Ryan's saying probably 100 calls a day, right? And then you'll start to reach success on sales. But what about acquisitions? You're calling realtors, right? What KPIs, what numbers should you be reaching on market to get good deals?
It's pretty freaky close to what I went into getting those qualifications, those disclosures on the disposition side. I mean, if you can get legit 90 offers off in a month, you should be getting 3 to 4 deals per month if you're doing the right cadence from there with the follow up, like I mentioned. But yeah, I mean, bare minimum 30. You're a pro at 90 to 100. Again, you can't fail if you're doing that kind of output.
That's insane. So 90 offers a month. So you're going to write three offers a day. Are you writing out the full Trek contract, spending an hour filling that out, or are you just texting, emailing?
I
What's an
I
offer?
come from the commercial real estate world, so I send out a lot of LOIs. Not all agents love this approach if I'm offering on the MLS, but I have a simple template, like I talked about those five basic terms, right? What they're looking for: purchase price, option money, earnest money, close date, my title company, and I send that out to them, and then I send them a text, and then I call them. I'm like, hey, I just offered on your property. Send a text, and then obviously the email. And then sometimes they do say, we'll only look at verbal offers, and I'll get them on the phone. I'm like, look, I'll write the offer, but talk to your person. These are my terms, and then they always do it. But that saves me countless hours because luckily we have a CRM and we use DocuSign it all codes together, so it saves us some time. But I mean, actually ripping out, line by line. I'm assuming people across the screen right now are probably doing this the old school way, like with a Trek 1 to 4 on Adobe. I wouldn't recommend that, so to speak. But do you have that template I sent out a while ago?
No, I need to pull up that template, but I was just piggybacking off of what you're saying. Like I wrote two offers today, creative deals, but it's the same thing if you're doing cash deal. I actually wrote up an LOI. This is a little bit more formal. If I'm trying to like get a deal and it's with a realtor, or I'm trying to look professional, I just write up a quick LOI. This is just a template I have. This is for a subject to deal. Just says, hey, I want to do a sub to deal. This is the address. I have all the information on the property. I have my terms, and that's it, guys. It's not more than that. And if you're just doing a simple cash deal, you can just be like Ryan and just shoot him a text, shoot him an email, and put that important information in there. What I'll do is in the description below or in the comment pinned, I'll attach Ryan's typical template that he texts to realtors when he's writing an offer. Don't go filling out the check contract when you're just shooting out a first offer. You're gonna waste your time. Don't do that. And Ryan, Olivia asked, should we use buyer's agents or write up contracts ourselves? And I assume you're wholesaling, Olivia. You're not actually being an investor in this case. So let's say you're wholesaling. Should you use a buyer's agent or just write up the contract yourself?
If we're in Texas, you're actually sending a legit offer. I would recommend using Trek or agents. I mean, I don't
Ryan, I
think
think
it.
you're. Oh, there you go. You were cutting out. Can you say that again?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're here in Texas and you're offering on the MLS, on market properties through a listing agent, I've actually never seen an agent accept an offer with, because we have some 1 to 2 page, very basic contracts, which are legal. I think, I mean, you can write a contract on a napkin if you really wanted, in the state of Texas. But yes, I would recommend using Trek. I've tried to use those one pagers in the past, and they're like, no, submit it with a Trek, which is fine. If you're doing off market and you have a very simple, basic PSA you like to use, do that, and then or already an assignment. So yeah, there it is. There's the Trek.
There's the Trek. All of you guys have access to it. And yeah, I think, I mean, you can get a realtor if you want, but you can represent yourself, save the 3% commission, Olivia. And by representing yourself, you can negotiate 3% less on your wholesale deal. And that 3% is the difference between you making no money or tens of thousands of dollars. So it would, in most cases, as wholesalers, you represent yourself and you either take the 3% commission in the form of a price reduction of 3%, or you just tell the listing agent to make her your friend. And that's a secret Ryan uses. Hey, I don't need this 3% commission. You take it, or you give that 3% commission back to the seller. I don't care, but you can take the full 6.
Hey, is my screen sharing?
Here, let me add you to stage. Go ahead and share.
I know we were talking about. I mean, this is how basic my offering system is, and I can literally get out 20 a day by doing this. So again, I mentioned, obviously I see a deal I comp it real quick. I talk to the agent. I put my very basic, all my terms here. It's to me, it's an LOI, letter of intent. I send this in, change it to the address, change the agent's name. I have this as a template, and I copy and paste and I send. I'm really quick with it. Then I follow up. And again, 90% of these agents, they respond favorably to this template. Some people get pissed off because they want to see full written offers, but if it gets down to that point and they think it's worth submitting, then I write it up, and I have a method of doing that really quick as well. So get efficient with your time. Figure out ways to not, because I can't remember how long it would take me to, write up offers or write up an email. Like, figure out what works, whether it's with buyers or sellers. Have a Google sheet, have a Word doc, and have your templates ready to rock and roll, because you're going to get the same responses. And like we were talking about hurdles and stuff earlier in the chat, I have it down to a science where I can just copy and paste. It's a cadence of a conversation. Like it's a very simple business, and you'll recognize patterns. And I can't stress it to my team how efficient I want them to come. Get a mouse, get 3 screens, just do things the right way.
I just got my 3rd screen. It's helping so much.
please be efficient with your time. I cannot stress that enough. And I'm super ADD, so I'm very anal about. I don't like time wasting.
Guys, and it's so much better that when you have like that template, the reason why Ryan's getting a lot of success is he's not just saying, "Hi, agent, would you take $225,000 for the house?" That doesn't look professional. But if you say, "Hey, my offer is $225, I'll close this day, I'll do a 3-day option, and I'll give you this much EMD," and you give all the important numbers, that comes across so much better. And if you guys don't know how much EMD to offer, that's earnest money. That's money you need to give as good faith that will go towards the purchase price. And if you guys decide to back out, if you wholesalers decide to back out during your option period, you'll get that EMD back. So don't worry. But usually do 1% of the purchase price. So if it's a $500,000 house, you'll have to put $5,000 EMD. A $200,000 house, you'll need to put $2,000 in EMD. And getting that EMD, getting that cash is sometimes hard for wholesalers. So you can use gator lenders, right? People will lend you that EMD so that you can get your wholesale deals. But they charge you. However, if you work with us, Ryan, what do?
We will definitely cover your EM and OM.
And how much do we charge? Work with us. All right, so work with us. If you guys need people to help sell your deals in DFW, you have the best team here in the world. So go and bring us Dallas Fort Worth wholesale deals. Bring us some ugly cash homes, and we will sell them. And we'll cover your EMD and not charge you. But yeah, you guys need to put EMD, and you'll need an option period. Ryan, when it comes to an option period, you're talking to a realtor. How many days option do you think you need or you can ask for?
And that's the thing. I mean, I think that goes down to after that initial talk, like figure out what kind of a rush the seller's in. It's a nuanced question. Every situation is different, but I would always go in for 7. That's plenty of time to get feedback and at least go for 7. Luckily, we have a big sales team, experienced sales team, so. If it's priced correctly, I mean, we can move deals. We've moved deals in 10 minutes before, right?
Yeah.
We know after about 48 hours if it was priced correctly or not. After 3 days, we're like, okay, something was off. We missed something. The market's speaking. So after 3 days, you mispriced it. Exactly. So bare minimum 3, in the sense where you need at least 3 days to know for sure. I would shoot for 7. If you can get 14, awesome.
Yeah. And then on creative deals, guys, really try to get those 5 to 7 to 14. Those take a little bit longer. There's more nuances to it. You got to really check what the arrears are. You're going to have to maybe speak to the bank. Maybe you're going to have to get power of attorney. There's a lot more into creative deals. The simple cash deals, try to shoot for at least 3. But yeah, I mean, you don't need too many days. I mean, you'll know pretty quick if it's a good or bad deal once you start to bring it to investors. So we got some more questions rolling in. I'll look through them here in a second. But so for everybody out there, Ryan, do you have just any general tips on market acquisition, speaking to realtors? Just any general words of advice for all the people out here trying to get their first, second, third wholesale deal, and they're looking on MLS, they're looking on Zillow, looking on Redfin? You said one tip, which I loved: become a realtor. Guys, wholesaling and being a realtor go hand in hand. Most people don't do both. Most people think we're arch enemies. No, no, no. Do both. But what other tips do you have, Ryan?
To get your first deal. I'm sorry, you cut out in the beginning
Yeah,
there.
yeah. To get your first deal and you're looking on market, you're looking on MLS, you're looking at acquisitions.
I keep going back to join a team, but if you're solo and you're really fighting to get that first contract, um, that's what I would do. I would hit the MLS first and foremost. Um, Man, just get your numbers in. If you do the KPIs, like I mentioned, 90 deals, you're going to get a contract. And honestly, even if it doesn't get sold and the second one doesn't get sold, I mean, think about everything you learned from those first few drops. They're not losses. They're just learning lessons. So again, you're going to get kicked in the teeth your first 6 months, your first year in this business. I still get kicked in the teeth. I have a I have a lot of skins in the wall. I have a lot of experience. So, um, like I said, if you're in this as a true career path and you're gonna be playing the infinite game, Alex Ramosie's saying, um, you know, those as long as you don't quit, you're gonna figure it out. You can plow through the sucky times because there will be sucky times. I don't. That's one thing I don't think people talk enough of in these things is the losses you take and the utter, mind effed you get sometimes, and just feeling not confident, feeling like you don't belong, and I think mindset's 90% of this, and determination and grit, and when you're feeling down and you take an L, just getting right back on the horse. What is every winner in life? What's a common theme? I mean, look at every sports star. They all take losses. Look how many times Jordan lost before winning his first championship in NBA Finals. I mean, everyone takes L's. So it's not how you fall; it's how you get back up. Stay consistent. Keep your head steady. It will get better. I went through those battles, on a daily basis, but I plowed through, and I mean, I'm very happy where I am in life, and I'm going to continue to do that until I get to where I want to go.
Love it. Brad asked, so this is a great question, and I think we've answered it before. But Brad's out here wholesaling on market. He's trying to get his first deal, I believe. And how do I make an offer to a realtor when my intent is to wholesale it? Do you tell them you're wholesaling? Do you tell them you're an investor? Do you tell them that you have a buyer in mind? Like, that's an awkward conversation, Ryan. Like, you're a
That's a good question.
realtor. It's easy for you. You're an owner in a fund. It's easy for you. But what should everyone else be doing?
That is a really. Can you put that question back up?
Yeah, sure. I got you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I always play on the fence of be transparent, and let them know. I mean, I would just come across like, hey, I'm an experienced. I work with a ton of buyers. I'm going to put this out of my network. Confident at this number, I can get this deal done, and that's all I would say. I wouldn't get too much into it. I would just put the offer and show confidence that you can get the deal done for them, but also have the buyers like back it up, right? Like put in that work, get your buyers list. I would get your buyers list built up first and get the 30 to 50 solid people under your belt. And then maybe try if you're doing this alone, then trying to put on your acquisition, get in the contract. Therefore, once you do have a deal, you're like, oh shit, what do I do with this? On the flip side too, you could always, I mean, there are bigger disposition shops like ourselves that do assist 1-2 man wholesale shops. So as long as you buy it right, you shouldn't have an issue moving the property. If that makes sense. And if make those 2 or 3 good disposition contacts, and those are your buyers. I mean, you're technically not lying; they are buyers at the end of the day. So just be transparent. Don't just straight up say, "Oh, I'm closing on this," and that's when you get a bad rap. Just be honest, be transparent, and be communicate with them throughout the process. There's nothing realtors don't. They hate it so much when people just contract. They don't say shit through your option period, and then they cancel the day up through an email. And that's not good business. That's not good life skills, right? Always communicate with your people. Always be updating them, and you'll separate yourself from 95% of the business.
I couldn't have said it better. It only gets easier the more you guys do it because you'll take steps up in your career, which will allow you to have more you're gonna check your phone right now. Tony and Nick are blowing up our phones. We gotta talk to our recruiter. We have a whole recruiter meeting on Thursday. But anyways, like Ryan here, he's a part owner in a fund. He's a realtor, right? He has all these credibility going for him. Well, when you're just starting, you don't have that. But what you do have is you're just honesty, guys. Don't straight up say I'm wholesaling this and I'm assigning this, because most realtors, they're not going to be okay with that. But if you legitimately have good buyers and you just say, hey, I find deals for buyers, right? Then if they ask, are you wholesaling? Yes, I'm going to wholesale it, right? Then you can explain that. Or if you don't personally have good buyers, partner with someone like us. We're a fund. We'll buy your deals. Hey, I know this fund named RFP Homes. They buy homes in this buy box. I'm looking for homes for a fund like that. Something like that, guys. So go and build your partners on the other side, so when then you jump into these conversations, you're not straight up lying. Or, dude, be a real estate investor and get on those phones like I do and say like, hey, I'm a realtor and I'm an investor and I'm an owner in a fund and I really want this house. I'm going to try to buy this for my fund. If it doesn't work, I'll see if it works for me personally. And if none of those things work, I have investors that I work with, investors who invest in my fund, investors who I've done deals with in the past. And if I can't close on it, I'm confident they will, right? So I just use the wholesaling as a backup option, as a plan B. So a lot of different ways you can go about that conversation, guys. But at the end of the day, transparency is the most important thing. Dang, we got a lot of questions popping off in the chat here. Let me check these out.
Give me a hard one.
Someone said nice basketball quote to hype us up. Who gave a basketball quote? Did you?
I think it was a metaphor. I think I was giving them a metaphor, a Jordan metaphor.
Oh yeah, you would give a Jordan metaphor. So Kay Watkins said, how do I submit a deal to you? So you want to join the Discord. It should be linked down below. And if it's not linked down below, that is totally fine. So let me give you an idea. This is our Discord. So hold on, it should pop up here in 1 second, guys. You can go into here, and all of these people have just submitted deals to me in the last few minutes. This is our awesome Discord. We talk everything wholesaling. We talk everything investing, subject to seller finance, novations, literally anything and everything you need to know about real estate. We're talking in this Discord. You can submit deals here. You can open up a conversation. We'll comp your deals. We'll teach you to comp. So yes, join our Discord. And personally, we're looking at deals in Dallas-Fort Worth, but if you have deals outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, I can connect you with the right people. But if you want to work with us, we are only doing deals in Dallas-Fort Worth at the moment. I was on market today, and the agent told me. Yeah, this is a tough one. I've gotten this one a lot today. A lot of people sent me deals today, Ryan, or a lot of wholesalers are looking at deals, and the realtors are like, I don't want any blind offers. I want you to walk the property first. What do you do then? And what do you do if you're virtual? Like, how do you do that?
You're asking me. Oh, yeah. I mean, here's how I handle it. Here's how I end up, because, I mean, for our business, obviously, we're looking to do as many transactions as possible. It'd be impossible. If we had to walk every house, we'd lose 90% of our day. That would be very tough. So more or less, I'm just like, look, the option period, so I can get my crews out there, which is true to walk it. They're busy. I got to get them scheduled. I don't have time to walk every house. We're doing 20 to 30 deals a month. If I can't walk every house before I walk it. That's what the due diligence period's for. So I kind of throw it off to, I can't get my crews in today. They're on a schedule. More or less blame them. Always place blame on different arms of your company.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a good answer.
Real quick, just to push on that before we answer Nick here. Nick's
Love
awesome.
you, Nick.
If you guys are in DFW, absolutely connect with Nick. I should be on his podcast here next week. So I'm starting to get up in the world. I'm becoming slightly famous. I was invited on.
We need Nick.
Nick's
No, Nick's the OG. Are you kidding?
I know.
Nick here runs one of the best masterminds in Dallas, bar none. So.
Here, you know what? We can. I invited you to the studio, Nick. Jump on in if you want. Only if you want. You don't have to. No pressure. But yeah, guys, if you can go to a property, try to walk a property. Our Nick, CEO of our company at RFP Homes, right? It's really tough to get a perfect number on a property if you actually don't see it in the flesh and really get a feel for what it looks like. So if it works with your schedule and you and you can, go and walk a property, and it'll also give you good experience on what just an ugly home looks like, or what a home looks like. But yeah, for the most part, if when you can't be walking every deal, right? So you can come up with a good reason not to, and that's what option period's for. Unfortunately, Nick cannot join the live stream right now. He's getting ready for bed really early. But so he asked though, how do you calculate your MAO, which is your maximum allowable offer for an on-market deal? What a great question.
Is that one for me?
It's always for you.
Okay. Okay. MAO for on market. I mean, the same thing. Just run the comps, see what's trading in that area, and then back out repairs and then offer there. And then it really just comes down to Nick, you know the market well, so you know what's trading in Garland versus Rowlett versus Plano. So we go off the percentage and back out the repairs to the best of our knowledge. That's really all we're doing there. Really simple.
Okay, so yeah, just to give you guys a little bit more information on that, because it's a normal day for Ryan, but for everyone else, it may get a little bit confusing. Ryan, there's a house on the market, all right, and it's listed for 400,000. Is that a good deal?
I don't know yet. Let's
you don't know yet. All right, so then what we want to do is, guys, we want to look at comps. All right, we want to look at comparable properties. Now, are you looking at comps for the same type of home in the same condition, or are you looking at like beautifully fixed up homes, Ryan?
I mean, you're looking, you want to be as close to the specs of the home as possible. If it's brick, try to find bricks. If it's 4 beds, try to find something that's 4 bedrooms with 3 baths, as close as, within 200 plus or minus of the square footage. And again, that comes down to just looking at the data and what's sold. Comping is not it's not a perfect science. It's an art form because you really got to work. And I wish Nick could jump on because Nick knows this. He's a comping guru, I would say. But you want to be as close to the same specs as whatever your home is, and finding 1 or 2 or hopefully 3 that are fully fixed up. And
that's what I wanted. So you're looking for homes that are fixed up. So you're looking at ARV, or after repair value, right? So you're looking at homes that are HGTV beautiful. Right, they've been
Correct.
flipped. Okay, so you're looking at similar homes with the same construction material, same bedroom, bathroom size. The bathroom's the most important. Same or close to the same square footage and close to the same age, right? So I find a house that's all really similar, and then I want a house that's been fully fixed up. And then Ryan, so let's say that a fully fixed up house that's similar is just sold. It's sold, right? You guys don't want homes so much on the market because that's not as good data, or even under contract or pending. That's still not as good. You want to look for sold if possible. And this property sold, even though Nick gave a good reason on why to look for active. So next time he's on here, we'll talk about that.
I look
Ryan,
at actives as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this property sold for $500,000. So is $400,000 a good deal on this MLS deal?
Let's bump it up a bit. Let's say ARV's 800.
Oh, 800. Wow. Okay, so it sold for 800.
And we need it needs 200K in repairs. So it's needs everything. Needs the works.
I mean, how do we even comp repairs? I teach you guys all that in the Discord, and I have a ton of videos on that. But let's say repairs are 200K. Yeah, we can talk about repairs. Repairs is a whole nother subjective thing. I cannot do eyes on here. I don't know why. Anyways, this is our repairs. So now we have a property that is $800,000 ARV, guys. So the ARV is 800,000, and repairs are 200,000.
I'm sorry. Let's do 300. It needs everything. It's in a really good pocket. Homes are selling. Yeah, just new roof, foundation's just jacked. It's a big house. Geez. It needs 300 in repairs.
Jeez. And if you guys don't think a house could ever use this, guys, the more higher end a house, you got to spend a lot more money to make it nice. I mean, you could be spending $50, $60, $70 a square foot instead of just like your regular $30 a square foot. But anyways, so Nick, not Nick, Ryan, so here's our deal. So is $400,000 a good buy, or where would you offer on this? And it's in a nice neighborhood. Where would you be offering?
Well, let's say it's an 80% pocket. So
80% pocket. Does that mean we can sell it for 80% of ARV?
No, that means we'd offer
Wow.
80% off the after
We would
value.
offer 80%. We could probably sell it for what, 82%, you think?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Nice. Okay. So guys, what we would do here is we would say 80% of 800,000 and then we would subtract the $300,000 in repairs. So quick math, that would be what is that?
340.
340.
That means we think that a flipper, an end buyer, would want to buy this at 340,
Well, no.
assuming that he's going to be putting then 300K in work.
Well, just to clarify, you think they'll buy it at 82%, right? So you're okay buying at 80% and then making you would sell it for then $16,000 more.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah. So then you'd make a $16,000 assignment. Now, guys, should you be buying deals at 80% of ARV? Probably not. This is a super nice location we're talking about. This is a really good area. Homes sell here all the time. If you're looking at shit little ugly framer houses that are like 600 square feet in the ghetto, and that area is getting highly gentrified, then you're probably going to want to be buying a lot closer to 70% or even sometimes less than 70% of ARV, right? And then you may be selling, or hopefully you can sell at 75%, but you want to be a lot closer to the 70% rule. So it
Yeah,
really
we
depends on your area.
we just we brought down the percentage across the board for our acquisitions team. Just given where the market's at, we're going to be offering closer to 70, 73, maybe 75% in most pockets now. So you're constantly adjusting. And thanks, Nick. Sorry, I've actually never explained comps before. It's kind of funny.
I do a
Sometimes
lot.
I get it, but I'm not great at articulating the comp game for some reason. But
I teach it every day, guys. Again, it's going to really depend on your area. We can really only speak for DFW, but the 70% rule is called the 70% rule for a reason. It pretty much works around the board. But nicer neighborhoods, you can offer a lot more than 70%, and more expensive homes, you can offer a lot more than 70%. Because at the end of the day, you really got to think about it. Who's your clientele? Who's your end buyer? It could be a fix and holder, but at the end of the day, it's usually a fix and flipper. And what do fix and flippers care about? They care about the money, right? They care about the money. And if they're buying an $80,000 shit box to then hopefully sell it for $200,000, and they have all these costs when they sell it for $200,000, so they'll actually end up netting probably 140, and then they have to spend $50K in rehab on their on their shit box. Well, now they only made 10 grand in profit. But Max, I bought it at 70% of ARV. I thought it was a good deal. No, it was not a good deal because the flipper's only going to make $10,000, right? Private money, hard money is so expensive right now. Y'all are paying 1% per month and probably 2 points. That's if you have a good lender. You may not have a good lender. So what does all this mean? And realtor costs, you got 6% there. You got holding costs. You have all these costs. And then homes are not selling for full price right now. Everybody's getting price reductions. So these little homes, a flipper works his butt off, spends 3 months fixing a terrible house with cast iron plumbing and having to put so much work in the foundation to make $10,000. But Max, I thought it was a good deal. No, it's not a good deal. You got to buy it cheaper. But these high-end homes, yes, you can pay more on a percentage basis because in that same example, that flipper could make $100,000 by buying it at 80% of ARV. Whereas with your small little shit house, even though you got it at 70%, that doesn't mean it's a good deal. Guys, these rules are just guidelines, right? They're not strict, commandments. This isn't the 10 commandments of wholesaling. These are just rules and guidelines. We use these rules for a reason, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is for you to understand your pocket because, Ryan will know, I can send him a deal and he'd be like, we can buy it at this. I'm just like, how did you know that? I just know, right? Because I sent him a deal the other day. He's like, I wholesaled the house across the street, right? I sent the deal to one of our acquisition agents, Heather, and I was like, I don't know what we should offer on this property. I can't figure out comps. She's like, offer this much. I was like, how do you know? You didn't even look at it. She's like, well, I actually wholesaled the house literally next door, right? So the more you do deals in an area, the more you'll just know. That's my big rant for the day. Thanks, Nick. Well, looking forward to being on your pod. We have a ton of questions in here. Ryan, you can go through the questions if you want. You can just go to comments and whip through them. We'll probably go for a little bit more, guys. I really appreciate how active you guys are. I hope you're learning some valuable tips. All right.
Okay.
Wow, like so many questions. Hopefully, I can get to all of you guys. Hopefully, I can get to all of you.
And where we're at. Um,
Okay, Olivia asked a good one. You can answer. We can just go fire through some questions, get some answers. What do you think about this one? I do not want to be negative, but what if a deal does not work out? Not negative at all. A lot of deals don't work out. Most of them probably won't until you get really comfortable. We're at about a 70%, a 75% success rate on our deals that are brought to us, but it's very market dependent.
I
What
would
is the
just
best way to respectfully back out, Ryan?
Just respectfully call the agents. Just say this deal's not going to work out. We're going to terminate. I mean, agents get terminated all the time. Don't feel bad. It sucks. No one likes to terminate, but it's part of the business. So you're not going to hurt their feelings by terminating. As long as like I say, just communicate, set the right expectations, and when it is time to terminate, pick up the phone and call them. Don't just send an email or a text. Hey, wasn't able to get this done, but please keep me in mind for the next fixer upper you get. Would love to take a look at it and get you an offer. All right, no problem. Thanks, Ryan. Done. Keep it simple.
Okay, gotcha. Uh, Tasheen Collins asked if we deal with foreclosures. Do we, Ryan?
Well, we get pre-foreclosures, we get deals. We don't hit pre-foreclosure list, but we've definitely assisted people with contracts where they're about to go to pre-foreclosures and they need to sell in you know, before that first Tuesday of the month. We get those deals and we need to move quick, and we've definitely saved some deals from going to foreclosure. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, we do deal with foreclosure deals, but we don't pay for leads and we don't attack them that way. But yeah, we definitely are
What's the
experienced.
difference between a pre-foreclosure and then a foreclosure? And why would you not deal with the foreclosure? Isn't that a better deal for someone like you or me?
In what capacity? Sorry, Max, I'm not.
I'm just trying to tee you off here. But like guys, so like pre-foreclosures, they haven't yet gone to foreclosure. There's not that auction date. Foreclosure means that it already went to it's already been the auction, and it's usually too
Oh,
far gone,
yeah.
right? So if you guys see deals with pre-foreclosure, that's absolutely in the money. You can either I would start with a cash offer, and if it doesn't work, then try subject to. Taking sub two deals pre-foreclosure, taking over loans pre-foreclosure, that's where you're going to find your best deal. Going into foreclosure, they're highly motivated, right? We talked about motivation. Expired listings, highly motivated, right? People going through divorces, highly motivated. You want to be focusing on these. It's okay. I'm going to give you another layup, Ryan, and you're going to nail it. You're going to dunk this layup, all right? I'm going to
I
alley oop
love the
you.
layups. Love the layups.
All right. So in Dallas, we need to be at 65 minus repair to sell to you. No, I mean, you can, it really depends on the area. It can be 75, 78%. I mean, you can sell to us at that probably all day long. Um,
If they're really nice, as they say, bread and butter brick 322s in solid school districts, I mean, we'll buy them at 80. Um, Again, that's why it's a little nuanced. I don't love the people get fixated on a certain number and that's a rule, right? It just depends. But if you had to stick to one number, I guess I aim for 72, 73%, I guess is what my best bet. I know that's not a great answer, but again, these deals are nuanced, and every pocket's different, and also it changes with the market.
yep. What'd you take this deal that Tashin is sending over?
Willis,
I don't know where
Texas.
Willis, Texas is. I know where Will's Point is. I don't know Willis, Texas.
Is that by DFW? I think so.
So it needs 70K in rehab, and it's assessed at 570. So guys, does assessed mean that's the value of the property? Nah, assessed is just it's not even close sometimes. I mean, it can be accurate, it can't not be accurate. That's just what the county's assessing it at for tax purposes. So I would not really be looking at assessed value so much, but it gives us a good lens roughly what it's worth. Okay. And then it's a short sale, and they're taking $275,000. Do we do short sales, Ryan? Is that something we do?
Unless we're closing on them ourselves, no, because you can't really assign a short sale. Short sales have to be approved by the lender or the bank.
What's a short
Who
sale
holds it up.
for everybody out there?
They owe more than what the property is worth or what it would sell for, so they're upside down. And so they go to the bank and they ask for permission to sell it for less than the payoff amount. And then the bank there's people that specialize in this. And I actually do work with a few agents. That's all they do is short sales. There is value in it. And in fact, I would find out who your local realtors who deal with short sales and get on their good sides, because those can be really good deals, especially if and when you're looking to become an investor yourself.
Absolutely. And before a deal goes to short sale, because once it goes to short sale, it's really difficult to do a sub two deal because a bank does not want you to do sub two. Try to get them subject to, guys, before they go to short sale. All right, we got
Yeah, I
one
don't.
last question, and it's by the man, the myth, the legend Reaper, Chris. When dealing with high number of vaulted properties, I'm not sure what vaulted is. How would you go about comping if there are no other houses like it? We talked about that today or yesterday, Ryan. How do you comp a property when there's just no good comps?
I mean, from there, it's kind of an art. Obviously you want to stay within your subdivision. I mean, there's certain rules, right? You want to get, like I said, as close to the house as you possibly can. Like if it's a 322 brick, 1,200 square feet, what's a better comp than a fully fixed 322 brick, 1,200 square feet? From there, I mean, expand your target zone, go out of 2 miles versus if you're just sticking to one, go out of your subdivision. Um, Look at what's active in the market. Go back 300 days. In a perfect world, I'd love to go no further than 90 days, but sometimes it's just not the case, and you have to make your best educated assumption on where you think this would sell after repairing. So again, it's not a perfect science. It's really more an art form. But at the end of the day, if you're buying these properties, you better be able to articulate the data and why you are pricing it there and why you do think it's the ARV. Point out the comps that you're referring to, and we make a really nice, pretty comp packet for our investors with pictures of the properties on it with a map showing that, hey, it's right by our property. We what else do we put in there, Max? Put in a lot of good real data. That's data. Data don't lie. Data is black and white. So. And then we pitch a story. Then from there, you talk about the rehabs. You need to do this. You need to upgrade the kitchen. You need to fix the foundation. You need a new roof. That's going to be 7K. So just dive into the numbers. That's how you back into why. And then you told me you were happy with a 30K profit. If you do all this and you agree with that, this ARV is this and that the repair is that, then you should make about 30K. Is this a good deal for you, Mr. Investor? Oh yeah, I remember that. Done. Let's do it. So. Make them come to the conclusion on their own. Really hear what they're saying. Ask them the right questions. See what they really want. And again, you can't lose if you're putting out the amount of offers and disclosures as you should be. My dog's yelling at me. I think he's hungry.
Well, we'll wrap things up in the next 5 minutes. So Ryan, I love Sir Chunky so much. He's the cutest dog. So I just really want to just focus back onto the topic at hand. It's finding on market deals and getting those really good deals on MLS where everybody else can see them, but you're the person to get that good deal and negotiate down. So we gave some really good tips. I loved it. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Ryan, you maybe you have MLS, maybe you don't, but you're using Zillow, you're using Redfin, you're using PropWire, you're using all these different, places to find properties, and there's thousands of properties on MLS, right? What are you looking for a good investment deal or a good wholesale deal? Like, is this a good property? Like, it looks really beautiful, Ryan. Like, well, actually, this one needs work, right? Or are you looking for completely turnkey properties? Where should people start? What should they do? What tips do you have from them? What filters should they use? It's overwhelming how many properties there are out there.
I actually have a whole keywords sheet I can send in this
Let me
chat.
see
Hold on.
the keywords sheet. I'll let Ryan do that while I go through some properties. Guys, for the most part, this house here, you're not going to make any money off of it. Somebody's already flipped it, and investors already taken and extracted the value out of it. There's no value to be had. The only way you can make money off of a turnkey home is if you're doing something creative. You're doing subject to, or you're doing seller finance. Like this $1.4 million, you're not going to flip this home and make money. There's nothing to flip. It's at full value. So if we're talking mostly wholesaling or investing, you want to find ugly homes. And that's the name of the game. It's not this. If it's already painted white, you don't want it, right? Unless it's sub 2 or unless it's seller finance. So look for those ugly homes. And they don't need to be disgusting. They can just need a little bit of work, like that first house I showed you. Maybe it's just a wholesale deal. Maybe it's something simple. Ryan, do you have that sheet yet, or are you still looking for it?
I just put it, I copied and pasted it.
Love this. All right.
Comments.
So if you guys look in the comments right here, this is awesome. These are filters you guys can use to find ugly homes. As is, investor, updates needed, fixer upper, TLC. Save this filter and put it into your search engine of choice. This is where you find the good deals, and then call these realtors and build a relationship with them, and then follow up 10 times, right? Any other tips for the people out there, Ryan, before we wrap up the stream?
No, I mean, I think this was my first live chat. Hopefully I gave some nuggets, spit some fire. This was fun. I'm definitely, we're going to have to do this again. But really, I mean, like I said earlier, I know we made this, yes, Nick. Hopefully, I gave you a good eggplant for dinner. Really, I can't preach enough the mindset. Work on your mental game and your personal development. It's just as important as this other stuff. Stay resilient, stay consistent, put in the work, and again, you can't fail. The winners are going to win. Do you want to be a winner? Do the work.
Winners are going to win, guys. You guys can all do it. Every single one of you can be wholesalers, but more so than that, every single one of you can be investors. There's a million different ways to wholesale, and there's a million different ways to be investors. But the one thing y'all all are going to have in common, all of you people that succeed, if you all want to be like Ryan and get hundreds of deals, it's just mindset. This guy works so freaking hard. He's always the first one in the office and the last one to leave. Gets his phone, he gets his dials in. Diet's extremely important. Just mental health is extremely important. Staying fit is extremely important. It's all so important.
It's everything. It's a full package. I mean, you live your life one way, right? I mean, I'm about to make 2 pieces of salmon and then go to the sauna and get my workout on because I haven't got to do it yet.
Well, there you go. Well, then I'll let him go. See, I just got back from the gym, so now I'm just gonna go clean my house and get mentally prepared for tomorrow, so I can go kill it tomorrow. I love all you guys. Thank you all for joining, and thank you so much, Ryan, for being here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening.